And on the topic of teams making contingency plans at quarterback, the Houston Texans are bringing in Tyrod Taylor. Obviously, we know that the Houston Texans are in a situation where their quarterback, Deshaun Watson, wants to be traded. We don't know if they're going to grant him that request, but they're aware that they may end up doing that, and they're aware that if they don't, he may not show up. So they bring in Tyrod Taylor, who can be a backup in their best-case scenario and can be a starter if they get stuck needing someone who has that experience in the NFL.
All right, so that's very well explained, but I will raise my hand and I will say I was one of many who was guilty. Louis Riddick, yesterday when I saw the Tyrod Taylor signing, I said, that's it, Deshaun's getting traded. I immediately jumped in on the Deshaun Watson. That's it, they're going to trade Deshaun Watson. So as someone with the front office experience that you have, how do you read the signing of Tyrod Taylor in Houston?
Yeah, well, they needed somebody on the roster right now in order to line up with and that they could potentially win games with if, in fact, Deshaun makes good on what he has said, which is, I'm not going to blink. I don't want to play for you. I'm not going to be there. So do what you got to do. And right now, as a team builder, if you're Nick Caserio, and as a head coach, if you're David Culley, what I've got to do is I better get somebody in here who I think has starting experience and who can help me win football games. So that's what you wind up doing. This is interesting. Look, this is what GMs are always trying to do. GMs are always trying to look down the road. And this was easy to forecast. You know they were going to have to go after someone. The fact of the matter remains, though, look, Tyrod Taylor is not even in the same galaxy as Deshaun Watson. We all know that. We've seen Tyrod play, and I don't think anybody is under any impression that he is. But Houston had to have some kind of contingency plan right now because this is an old-fashioned stare down. And every indication is that Deshaun is not messing around with this thing. And David Culley knows I gotta have a plan. It's really that simple. I can sit here and try and reorder the words as many times as I want, but that's all this is who's going to blink first. And we better have a plan if Deshaun doesn't blink, because we do have to play football games in September.
Here's the other thing it seems to me Tyrod Taylor is. He's a good bridge quarterback if what they wind up doing is trading Deshaun Watson for the second pick in the draft or the third pick in the draft, and you bring in a rookie who you don't want to start immediately. You have a quarterback who you feel confident you can go with. So there's a million different ways you could read this. And Torrey, to come back to you, you made the point. Russell hasn't come out and said, I want to be traded. Deshaun is on the absolute opposite end of that. He's made it as clear as it can be. So how do you read this situation?
It's just insurance. Tyrod Taylor is a starting quarterback in the NFL. So you have a guy that if Deshaun moves on, you know that this offense and this team can continue to move forward. Deshaun has come out to say he's not going to play there. And I believe him. And this team has zero reason to keep a guy that's the leader of your franchise that does not want to be there. It's terrible for the locker room with a new coach, a new GM that's trying to establish and really change the perception of Houston from the outside in. It just doesn't make sense for them to keep Deshaun, and Tyrod Taylor is a great option for them to line up the season.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.